She possessed the divine gift of bringing joy and rest to all living beings on the seventh day of each week.
Her power came from the sun itself, a sacred gift to nurture peace and renewal. But the peace of heaven was about to be disturbed by a challenge from the mortal world below.
The humans have forgotten the sacred ways and no longer honor the day of rest you provide.
Her heart ached for humanity, and she made a decision that would change everything. She would descend to the mortal realm to teach humans the importance of rest, renewal, and gratitude. She arrived in a sacred forest untouched by time, where nature still remembered the old ways. The creatures of the forest sensed her divine presence and welcomed her as one of their own.
Beyond the forest lay a village where people worked endlessly without rest, driven by fear and forgotten traditions. Beyond the forest lay a village where people worked endlessly without rest, driven by fear and forgotten traditions.
The villagers had forgotten how to care for each other, lost in endless toil and worry.
She knew her mission would not be easy, but her divine compassion would not let her turn away.
She entered their world not as a distant deity, but as a kind stranger offering help.
Her simple act of kindness began to stir something forgotten in their hearts.
Her simple act of kindness began to stir something forgotten in their hearts. Friends, when did you last pause to simply breathe, to feel the sun on your face, to remember what brings you joy? Her words touched deep memories they had buried beneath years of endless work. The children especially felt drawn to her, their spirits not yet hardened by the world's demands.
Tomorrow, we shall try something your ancestors once knew. We shall dedicate one day entirely to rest and joy.
For the first time in years, the village breathed. They remembered what it meant to simply exist. She taught them ancient practices to reconnect body, mind, and spirit, movements that honored their divine nature.
By the way, studies show that regular rest and family connection improve both physical health and emotional.
She taught them ancient practices to reconnect body, mind, and spirit, movements that honored their divine nature. Community bonds that had frayed from constant stress began to mend through simple moments of connection. Through shared creativity and cooperation, they rediscovered the joy of working together without burden.
But not everyone welcomed this change. The village chief had built his power on the villagers' endless labor.
Who are you to come here and fill their heads with lazy ideas? These people have work to do.
Her words struck something deep within him, a part of himself he had long ago buried.
She understood his fear. For those who profit from others' suffering always fear liberation the most.
Chief, I mean no disrespect to you, but tell me, when did you last feel true joy? When did your heart last know peace?
Her words struck something deep within him, a part of himself he had long ago buried.
She knew that true change comes not through force, but through awakening the heart.
But in the shadows, an ancient evil had taken notice of the goddess's light.
Oh, a goddess walks among mortals, spreading her light. How delightfully foolish. Her power will be mine.
Divine though she was, in mortal form her powers were limited. That night, darkness crept toward the light.
Divine though she was, in mortal form her powers were limited.
In that moment of love and distraction, the shadows overcame her.
No! Come back!
Young Ravi, who had come to love the goddess, rushed toward danger without thought for himself.
Ravi! No! Get back! Get back!
She saved us from ourselves. Now we must save her. Who will come with me?
No! Come back!
The light that had awakened their hearts was gone, stolen by darkness.
But the goddess had not only taught them rest, she had taught them to care, to fight for what matters.
She saved us from ourselves. Now we must save her. Who will come with me?
She asked me when I last knew peace. I cannot let her sacrifice be for nothing. I will lead you to the sorcerer's lair.
Their journey would test them in ways they never imagined, but the goddess's lessons had prepared them.
I know why you journey. The goddess blessed my forest with her presence.
Look! The goddess showed me in a dream. We must step on those stones with faith.
They learned the first lesson again. Together, supporting one another, they could overcome any obstacle.
The darkness tries to make us afraid, but remember, we carry the goddess's light in.
They encountered the ancient guardian of the forest, a spirit older than memory.
I know why you journey. The goddess blessed my forest with her presence. I will guide. By the way, in ancient folklore, forest spirits were believed to be nature's memory keepers.
Beyond lies the sorcerer's domain. You must be strong, for he will prey upon your deepest fears and doubts.
In his moment of doubt, the chief remembered why they came, not for glory, but for love.
I was wrong to value work above people, power above peace.
The goddess taught me this, and you...
When darkness confuses you, close your eyes and feel the truth in your heart.
They climbed not as individuals, but as one body with one purpose, their unity becoming their strength.
The elderly woman, keeper of old knowledge, could sense the ancient evil that dwelled within.
Beyond this entrance, he will use illusions and lies to divide us. We must remember,
And so they descended into the heart of darkness, armed with nothing but ordinary tools and extraordinary love.
When darkness confuses you, close your eyes and feel the truth in your heart.
Everyone, close your eyes and hold hands. Feel each other in. That's real. The goddess is real in our hearts.
Their faith in each other and the goddess's teachings shattered the first barrier.
Hold the circle. Protect each other. Strike together.
Pathetic mortals. You think you can challenge me? I, who have consumed the essence of a dozen divine beings? The truth struck him deeper than any weapon could, shaking the foundation of his stolen power.
Together, their combined love and faith created a light that no darkness could withstand.
The final barrier remained, the sorcerer himself, and the goddess he held captive. They had found her, but freeing her would require facing true evil.
Though imprisoned, her spirit remained unbroken, sustained by the love she had given and received.
Pathetic mortals! You think you can challenge me? I, who have consumed the essence of a dozen divine beings?
You have consumed divinity, but you have never understood it. Divine power comes not from taking, but from giving. Not from fear, but from love.
The truth struck him deeper than any weapon could, shaking the foundation of his stolen power.
The battle between darkness and light raged, but the villagers' unity held firm against his individual power.
In the chaos of battle, the boy remembered the first lesson. Help those who cannot help themselves. The elder's faith had fully awakened her own divine spark, a gift from the goddess to those who truly understand.
The goddess of Sunday stood free, and the chamber itself seemed to brighten in her presence.
True divine power is not the ability to destroy, but the wisdom to heal even those who have caused harm. You have spent centuries taking life force from others, but you have never known what it feels like to...
For the first time in centuries, he felt something he had forgotten. The possibility of redemption.
She offered what he had spent lifetimes stealing since, the freely given gift of divine grace. When the darkness in his heart lifted, the darkness in his domain had no power to remain.
By the way, ancient texts teach that true evil is often deep pain and fear that has forgotten love exists.
You saved me, but more importantly, you saved yourselves. You learned that together, with love...
In that moment, the divine and mortal were truly one, proving that gods and humans are not separate, but family.
Will we ever see you again? Will you remember us in the heavens?
She spent days teaching them to create permanent traditions of rest, ensuring her lessons would outlive her visit.
Goodbyes are not endings when love remains, but rather new beginnings of what that love will create.
They created 7 sacred practices for the 7th day. Rest from labor, time with family, helping the
First Sunday festival became a cherished tradition, proof that rest and joy could coexist with responsibility.
To the goddess who taught us that true strength comes from knowing when to rest, true wealth from sharing, and true power.
She had completed her mission, but leaving those she had come to love would not be easy.
My time in your world must end, but I leave behind more than teachings. I leave a piece of my...
Will we ever see you again? Will you remember us in the heavens?
Every Sunday when you rest and feel peace, I am there.
She blessed each villager personally, ensuring they would carry her light forward into all their days. She returned to the celestial realm, but part of her heart remained forever in the mortal world.
They watched until the light faded, then turned to each other, knowing they had work to do in honoring her gift.
The heavens welcomed her back, eager to hear of her journey among mortals.
I went to teach them about rest, but they taught me about courage, unity, and the extraordinary power of order.
The council watched as the village became a beacon of balance, influencing other communities to remember the sacred ways.
Years passed, and the traditions only grew stronger, proving that true wisdom roots itself deep in grateful hearts.
And that, my children, is how the goddess of Sunday taught our ancestors, that rest is not laziness.
Is she still watching us, great-grandmother? Does she remember?
Every Sunday, in every world.
Number 6. In our busy world, taking time to rest, connect, and remember what truly matters is not just wise,